recording app. Uh,
Oh, if I smoke, will anything happen?
no, you're good. You're good.
Oh,
We're not monetized on YouTube yet. We're good.
so the first thing I wanted to ask about, we spoke about this in the last call, was about the outreach. Outreaching meaning the organic way of reaching out to people. For example, when you spoke about the falling under people's like wing, trying to understand like how they move, how I can learn from them, what sort of values I can bring from
Right.
take from them, etc.
Right.
Now regarding that, I was on TikTok, I was on Instagram. I tried to reach out to some, but those that I reached out to, they were kind of like didn't get a response, or it's either that I didn't get a response, or it was like I would like reach out to them and then they'll put me into a business chat, which kind of put me at a disadvantage of me actually having to connect with them. And
Yeah.
then these are like the much bigger people. Now, if I wanted to take a down a notch and maybe find out those who are not out there who are influencers, those sort of people I don't know where to find. So where can I find those people?
Got it. It's a great question, first off, because you recognize that there are different people at different tiers, and you recognize there's different ways of reaching different people at tiers. You know, Instagram 2011-12 was so powerful, even just for DM, because everybody was new on there, just like the internet when it first started, or the yellow pages, like everybody was new on there, nobody knew what was happening. So your ability to kind of like reach out to somebody that was a bit more quote unquote famous was a bit easier. You know, nowadays, millions of people, thousands of people are DMing their favorite people talking about, hey, I want to learn from you and create for you and stuff like that. So it's a bit harder to do that, I would say so. Yet at the same time, your ability to do it in volume is greater than it's ever been from that kind of thing. If you're trying to reach people, this is what I would do if I was starting over again. And if I was starting over again, I would actually take this approach because it would be easier for me to learn. I would reach out to somebody that I found interest in and ask them if I could, work for them, or at least work with them or do something in their ecosystem to just be next to them. Yeah, what I would say, bro, is that everybody wants something of value. And if you're going to reach out to somebody as a general principle, you want to have some value presented besides just your honesty and candor. A lot of people do that. It's kind of like let's say if I was a clipper and I was in video editing and I wanted to be a clipper, and let's say platforms like WAP didn't exist where I could be a clipper on their exchange.
Taking short form clips and then putting them on TikTok and then like having
taking long form video and chopping it up into short form clips. That's essentially what clipping is. So when you have a streamer or something like that and people chop it up, that's clipping. Okay, if I wanted to work with somebody that was famous in media or had some notoriety in media, I would start taking some of their content and start clipping it myself. And I would send them copies of it to say, hey, I think this would do well. I would even go more psycho mode and create a fan account just to repost their stuff to show them, hey, this is working better than this. Like if I was really serious about working with somebody that was kind of like sort of like famous online, no, I would go and make my own account of their own distribution and repurpose it and say, hey, this is working, this is not working, you should try this. And that is what you need to do if you're trying to reach someone that's of that kind of notoriety, to be honest with you. So that's the first thing I would say. Let me ask you a question. When you say you're trying to find people under that, are you just talking about like follower count wise? Are you talking about niche specific people? Like, I understand the big tier list of people, but like the people under that.
Let's take for example breast skills. Breast skills out and up. People know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
People know what he did. Now he's actually posted a video of like his like course and stuff. So I understand what he's doing. He's there. People know him. I'm trying to look for, if I can't contact him, I want the people not below him, but like people who are just like him, and they don't have that recognition that breast skill has.
Do you ever take time to look at the people in breast skills comments?
I do, and most of them either don't post or like it's memes, and those are the two people that I don't really want to come across.
I would say though, within his comments and within people that engage, is that audience that you're looking for. To your point, a lot of them are just meme posters and just shit posters. But the people that you want to reach out to that are under those people follow those people. So what I'm trying to say is, you know who you're trying to target, and what kind of volume are you putting out, like, on a daily basis?
Volume wise, I'm not putting out a lot because I wanted to have those core just in case to see whether I am doing the right thing. Like,
Okay.
I I feel like I am doing the right thing, but maybe there can be a better approach.
Well, see, the other part of it too is volume. Anything under, in my opinion, anything under 1,000 reps is not enough data to truly say, like, okay, this is working. This is the other part of this as well too, is what you're actually pitching in the DM too. That's a major thing, the hook. But I can't say what you're doing doesn't work if you only have like batches, sample sizes of like 50 to 75. That's like me doing email outreach and expecting to have a definitive answer after 75. There are people out here.
Okay, not like outsource that and have someone do that for me.
Oh yeah, 110% Fiverr. Oh yeah, I come at you from a perspective of bootstrapping. Again, good things don't take time. I don't believe that. If you want to speed up that process, there are people on Fiverr and Upwork. You can pay them, bro, like $5 to $10 to $15 an hour, depending on the quality that you want, and they'll do all the outreach for you. Your only responsibility is just to make sure the quality in which they output is the quality that you want. Generally speaking, when you hire people at lower wages to do things, you get lower quality. It's just a natural part of it. So you want to already have some templated messaging in place. You already want to have some cadence in place, and then you want them to be able to follow up and stuff like that. But yeah, 110%. Hire somebody to do that if you don't want to.
Because to me, having to like, I don't mind it, but it's like it's unnecessary. I can go and give that like job to someone else to do.
Well, the second part of it too is, why are you doing it? That's the second part of this conversation. So I know we talked a lot about you building your community and different ways of doing that, but with regards to, let's reverse engineer this right quick, and I'll share my screen at the same time. Why are you reaching out to begin with? What's the core goal?
The core goal is to fall back on the school community. That's what it is. It's to directly reach out to these individuals, have to build like a mutual or a friendly like a connection that I can reach out to get values, learn values, share values, and then as well as obviously when the school community does take off, and I do have members and people do pay for the core access of Solar Lab, etc. We spoke about this last time. I can take those people that I built connections with, and I can bring them in, not stranger on stranger, but like
right. And I just want you to know, ethically, that makes a lot of sense. You recognize that you need people a part of this. Bro, you know the problem when it comes to acquiring top tier talent and getting top tier people attention? Do you know the biggest problem with it?
No, I don't know.
They know they're top tier, so they know their time is valuable. So the thing that I would say to you, if you were trying to outreach to me, for an example, for me to join your community, which you're still building, is, what do I get out of it? Like, I understand the ethical principles of what you're trying to build, but you reaching out to me with less than 10,000 followers and your community that you're just getting started with, and here I am sitting at six, seven figure follower count. Like, you get more from me replying to you than I get from you outreaching to me. And there's nothing wrong with that. What you then have to say is, okay, how do I balance out that value ratio of them responding versus me just outreaching? And that's why I talk a lot about, like, okay, what can you actually give them that would actually capture their attention? Why would somebody with 6-7 figure follower count and high engagement respond to somebody with 1,000 followers? It can happen, but why would it? Generally speaking, it doesn't, because everybody does it. So then it's like, how do you separate yourself from the crowd to get that attention? Does that make sense? So, look, so like if you're doing, let's say, for example, within your core thing, you're focusing on outreach, that's an avenue for people. That's an avenue for you to bring people into your brand and community. But to do that, in my opinion, let's use a cloud for an idea. You need to have an offer or utility or a unique selling point attached to that outreach. Let's separate it. Let's stop looking at it as you doing the outreach to the influencer. Let's look at you pushing an offer of utility and unique selling point to the influence you want to get their attention, to get them back into, sure, that's cool, back into your community. So you see how you go from just being one of many, just saying, hey, do you want to reach out, to, hey, I have something for you that you'll find of value. By the way, I'm not just building one day and being gone tomorrow. I'm building in perpetuity for my community. Would you be a part of it? You see the difference in that?